It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. Well, I got to do a little bit of a follow-up on last week's Saturday night special. Josh sent in a couple of rocks, these rocks right here, to have me investigate what is going on with this. So I did have some time. This one I cleaned up. I put this in some iron out, and it's a nice, I don't even know if you could call it Druzy. It's more tiny crystals. And you can see under the microscope that it is in fact, well, it's a bunch of quartz crystals. They're kind of, I would say, borderline not Druzy, because you can really, they're very distinctive. You can certainly see them with your naked eye, which is very cool. There are some spots that are brown and probably a little dirty still, to be completely honest. A piece like this, you know, once you've ran it through some iron out, you should really probably like put it in an ultrasonic cleaner, and I don't have an ultrasonic cleaner, so I can't put it in. But that would really break loose all of like the little tiny like sand particles and bits that you might see under a microscope. Well, this is most definitely a thunder egg. This is most definitely rhyolite. But the brown stuff, this stuff, okay? I had to do a little bit of research to figure out what exactly this was. Now, this was inside this, and you can see some of it right there. What we have is an altered perlite clay. It's kind of interesting. I mean, not exactly rare, but thankfully, not many thunder eggs have it. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing to have for sure. It does kind of ruin a thunder egg in many people's minds, but it's always interesting to do the follow-up on it. Speaking of a follow-up, this book right here, The Introduction to Radioactive Minerals, I showed this a couple of weeks ago, I believe, along with another book on the subject of radioactive minerals, and I completely read through this, and I thought I would just share a couple of thoughts on it. First off, it's a little, I don't know if I would say it's an introduction. You know, I'm pretty good at reading stuff, absorbing material, and those types of things, and really, I had to reread a fair amount of this. I would say it's like an intermediate guide to radioactive minerals. It does have a little bit of too much of an emphasis on chemistry, in my opinion, for the lay person, such as myself. I might know a bunch about rocks and geology, but my chemistry knowledge is very, very limited. It's good. It's a good book, but like the photos, you know, maybe I won't do it justice here. These are not clear, right? Like they're hazy, you know, and like I have high expectations for books of this caliber to have crystal clear, well-lit images that are sharp, and this is not that. So for some of it, I was certainly finding myself going to other websites to look at the photos. So I have another one though. I have high hopes that one will be slightly better. So, but if you're into radioactive stuff, that might be a worth it book to scoop up, you know. This past week, I uploaded a video showing the indoor rock collection, the things that currently are making the cut. And, you know, I've gotten a lot of feedback from some people. I do have some ideas. I do want to clean it up a little bit, change out some of the pieces, you know, and I think it's good to focus on the end result of something, you know. I really want to maybe get some stands for stuff, even more organization. I look at it and I'm kind of like, well, it's not super organized. Some people will do something like, you know, you could like take a rock, right? And you'll, you know, whatever color, like white or black, you'll paint a little spot on there and you'll paint a number, and that number will match up with a book that you keep, a log book. So you can grab any rock go to Rock 850, look it up and be like, this is where you got it, this is when you got it, this is what you, I don't know, who you're with, the identity of the species, all of those things, and you can have a legit catalog for your loose rocks. I might do something like that. It's a lot. It's a lot to do that. What I do want to show you though of that collection is this. Okay, so if you watched the video, you already saw this, but I would encourage everybody to maybe make something somewhat like this. Okay, let's see if I can prop this up. Hold on. There we go. You can kind of see these a little bit better. So I would encourage anybody, to go out and make something like this, where you collect samples of rock from your local area and put together a case just like this. Not in perky boxes, not in big jars, but something where a person, somebody, you know, maybe not necessarily super into rocks, can just look at it and see all in one place the diversity of the area, you know, to see some little tiny amethyst, to see granites and basalts and all of these things and be able to identify them, be able to see opal, be able to see fossils, crystals, gold, whatever the thing is. I think it's a nice, like, I'm envisioning it being kind of almost like a little bit of an outreach thing, you know? It's by no means complete. There's definitely more that I have to go and get, but I would like to see everybody maybe do this. Now, it doesn't matter what part of the country you live in. You can certainly gather up your local materials and show it to people. One person left the comment, which I really liked, and maybe I should really think about, is the Boy Scouts of America. They have, I guess, a geology badge that they can get, and they just usually have whatever, people come in and talk about the basics of rocks, and I guess that's what you need to get it. I'm not exactly sure, but they recommended maybe seeing if any of the local troops around here need anything like that or want to do something like that. So might actually look into that for this summer. I think that could be kind of interesting to kind of see what their requirements are and see if I can maybe help out in that way. It might be good to do something like that. Also, a lot to talk about. I would like to show you this. Okay, now you're looking at this and you're like, well, that's pretty small, right? That's the whole point. This would be Micromount #1 for me. Now, if you're not aware of what micromounting is, it is basically the process of taking little tiny minerals that would go under your microscope, and you mount them on a pedestal, a little post, and you fold up a piece of paper, and you make a liner for these little tiny boxes, and you put a label in there, and you paint your little pedestal black, and now you have this nice little cute case, and you can fill drawers with these. I was kind of aware of that as like a hobby, a little bit, but I now have all the supplies. I'm going to start micro-mounting some stuff for looking under the microscope, and it should be a fun way to organize and extend kind of the collection aspect to this. You know, it's like every time I think I've seen it all. Well, I don't actually think that. I'm always surprised that there's always new things coming about with the rock and mineral thing. You know, it's never ending. You know, I'm sure a lot of people don't realize that there's a whole world of people that are into finding these little boxes, making a little paper liner. You get a little cork pedestal and you paint it with ink and you glue your specimen on, and you know, there's symposiums of it, and it's very, very cool. And, you know, I really enjoy the microscope a lot. And it's so much more accessible than people realize. You don't have to have a microscope like I have. A lot of people that are into micromounting will have a microscope that goes like 10 power to 40 power, a stereo microscope, so like $250, $300. And I know some people are like, oh, that's a lot of money. And I mean, for some people it is, but that's, you know, everybody's at a different point in life. And, You know, what's expensive for one person may not be expensive for another person. But as far as a hobby goes, the world of micromounting takes up very little space. But it's nice for taking photos with the microscope. So this piece of ROMed calcite is very cool. And I've been playing around with the microscope to try to take different photos, better photos, different lighting, doing different things post-processing to accentuate different features of the mineral or whatever that I'm taking photos of, to be able to aid in the identification process. And it's all around very cool, you know. I also got some mail this week. I got some mail from Brian down there in beautiful Elko, Nevada. Now, Elko is kind of on our bucket list for a place to visit. So good timing. But yeah, he sent some stickers, which stickers are awesome. I love stickers. And he sent some rocks. Well, first off, he made a beautiful keychain for Sarah. Look at this. Look at that. Come on, focus. It's not a video if you don't yell focus at your camera while standing by yourself. Maybe I'll have to take a photo of this thing outside before that sun goes down. But a beautiful keychain. Sent a number of rocks, some of which we will look at right here. So, first off, he sent a bag, a little Ziploc bag with some of the different agates that are from Elko County, which is cool. He's obviously been tumbling. Beautiful little agates. I wonder what size they were when they started. That's the only, you know, if I could just be critical of rock tumbling for a second, the thing that I don't care for about rock tumbling is how your rocks get smaller. I know it's like, maybe it's like a silly thing to complain about. Like, oh yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, was this like much bigger? Was this much bigger? Was that the case? Anyways, I'm derailing it here. He sent a couple of little tiny geodes, and I actually have not opened these yet. All right, so we get to look at these together. All right, look at that. Look at that cute little thing. Little crystal pocket. Now, I'm not sure where, let's see. These definitely have the resemblance of Moroccan Geode. Should have probably verified this stuff. Looking at a letter he sent. Yes. This one is unknown. That one is a Moroccan Geode. Ooh, look at that Druzy in there. Now that's actual Druzy, in my opinion. Like, here's the thing. So when I look at that, I'm like, that's Druzy. This is just like little crystals. I don't know. Is it a tomato thing? Does it actually matter? Probably not. Probably doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, matter a whole heck of a lot. Sent some wild horse jasper. Sent a slab of this. Look at that. That'll be fun for a future project. Very cool. He sent some other rocks, but I think we're going to have to start wrapping this one up. It is extremely cold out here. You know, the heater is awesome, but when it's like, you know, 7 degrees out, it only does so much. But we're just having a little bit of a short cold snap here. We are looking to get back up into the 30s, which will be pleasant in my opinion. That's my kind of weather. Well, I think we're gonna have to button this one up here, everybody. Thank you so much for coming by, hanging out with me on this Saturday night special, looking at some rocks and stuff. This coming week, we got another shop video because everything's cold and frozen and all of that. But stay tuned for that. It should be pretty good. Well, y'all take care, and I will catch you on the next video.